All right, good morning. Always a pleasure to have everyone here. Once the music goes off, it was so quiet. Who is loving the fall weather? Fall is my favorite. Love it. My favorite place to go to watch the leaves change is Bishop's Castle. So if you've never been, it's a pretty easy drive down south. Strange place, but it's definitely one of those bucket lists. When you live in Colorado, you have to go to Bishop's Castle, right? So if you haven't been, then let me know. I'll go with you. So my name is Samantha Sergeant. I'm the lead organizer for 1 Million Cups here in Colorado Springs, and I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate. I help people with their essential oil education, and I also get to help all of you amazing people get up on stage and share your entrepreneurial journey. That's what 1 Million Cups is. So 1 Million Cups is a nationwide organization. There's about 160 groups across the country, and the idea is that we're all sitting down. There's 1 million people sitting down to a free cup of coffee, listening to a local entrepreneur share their journey. And then we give them feedback and support, and that's why we return week after week, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm here too. So glad you guys are here for the same reason. So as always, we have 2 presenters, so we'll do that today. Before we do that, we definitely want to make sure we shout out to those that make this possible. So we always have a coffee roaster, so the coffee is provided by Barista. They're a local company here in Colorado Springs. So let's give them a hand. No one's here today, but we can still do that. And then our coffee sponsor, who pays for the coffee, is HR Branches. And I don't see anyone specifically here today, unless Jenny, are you going to come up? So when you sponsor something, you get 30 seconds to come up and say a little bit about what you do. And so Jenny works for HR Branches, so she is the perfect one to do that.
Thank you. So Jenny with HR Branches. So what we do is we work with small business owners to ensure they are compliant in policy and procedure. So we work side by side with them to, again, infuse your culture, your personality of your business into those policies to, again, make sure you have that peace of mind and focus on what your passion is.
Beautiful. Definitely. Yep. Very much needed in the small business community. Also, I love when people bring their own cups and mugs, and many people have their own mug from being on the stage here. But if you didn't bring your own cup, the SBDC and the BBB have provided cups for us so that you can drink your coffee not out of the palm of your hand, but out of a little cup. Is anyone here from the SBDC BBB today? Sometimes they're here, sometimes they come in a little late, so they miss their 30 seconds, but if they jump in here, then I'll give them their spot at the community announcements. So speaking of community announcements, that's always at the middle of between the 2 presenters. So our community announcements, you just come up and tell us what the community announcement is. So we don't need to know your name or your company name. You just come up, and usually it's something free that's happening that will benefit either the business community, or I know there's a bunch of Halloween events, so we'll hear a couple of those. So get those ready for the middle mark there. Please silence your phones so that our presenters, it's already nerve-wracking enough with the lights and all the people, so if you could silence your phones, that way you take away one less thing that makes them nervous when your phone goes off, because I did that for myself today already. So, and then you can check in on the 1 Million Cups app, so you'll see some stuff on your table that will help you as an attendee know a little bit more about 1 Million Cups, and we also have the welcome table, so some of our caffeinators and organizers can help you through that as well. So we are ready for our first presenter. So please welcome to the stage Shayla Zimmerman of Unwritten Mobil Notary Services. You want it on this? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Good morning, everybody. Colorado Springs is my home, and it's what I know and what I love. My roots are here, and I've watched it become the booming city that it is today. I am the first child of 4. I was mommy's little helper. Quiet as the 4 and always compliant. I don't know how many of you have ever heard about birth order roles, but while I was the firstborn, I was often living in the shadows of my younger brothers and later my sister. Even now, fighting for that role feels like a losing battle, but I'm up for the challenge. In school, as a child, my largest mark in the room was that I was the shortest in the room. That still hasn't changed. While this is still holds true today, I've embraced it with a confident spirit. Every summer when we would go to the same pool and I would watch the lifeguards and would pretend to be one when I was a little girl. I knew starting high school was a new beginning and I believed I could go be the go-getter I thought I could be. In high school, I was a competitive swimmer my freshman and sophomore years. Later in high school, I took that lifeguard course my high school offered, getting me one step closer to living that dream. At the end of the course, I didn't just pass the class, I surpassed the class expectations. That summer, entering my junior year, I got the job title as lifeguard at the YMCA. I had done it. As with all things, when we were young, all good must come to an end. I experienced the inevitable and had been terminated from my lifeguard position, not because I couldn't perform my duties, but because I couldn't perform my duties in front of someone that disapproved of me. I was crushed. I graduated from Rampart High School in 2005, and the world should have been mine. Unfortunately, I lived playing it safe and in fear of what the world could do to me. My next two jobs taught me that I was loyal and had the grit to stick with a job, as I had stayed for each of them for 5 years. Still, as I held those positions, I had feared that if I wasn't liked and approved of, I would be, I didn't want to see myself out the door. I wanted to stick in those positions, so I would do whatever it took. I would arrive on time and do what I needed to do to get the job done, but still constantly seeking that approval. After 5 years of working with Walmart and being a loyal and friendly and hard worker, I was tired of making money for somebody else while I was making money too. Newer employees were coming in and making more than I was, and I just was tired of it. Over the course of these 10 years, I had adopted some very destructive habits that had been affecting me personally and professionally. Later, I had become a property manager for an HOA company, and I had learned the silly differences between downspouts, gutters, tip outs, soffits, and fascias. Quick lessons in HOA balancing and budgeting HOA funds, seeing how homeowners could be affected by loss assessments if they didn't have the proper insurance. While this job had taught me so much, it had become a very toxic, unfortunately, both personally and professionally. But one of the benefits that I had out of this job was I had learned that because this person that had run the business was a small business owner, he had the financial freedom and the freedom in his schedule to be able to do what he wanted to do. And that is something that I wanted. In July of 2019, I had decided I was done with the HOA management and I wanted to do something that gave me purpose. And I wanted work to be fulfilling. So I had went to go do something completely different, and I decided to try to work with people that had special needs and in those communities. That lasted about 4 months, so it was not the difference I was looking for. And in January of 2020, I was left with nothing else to do.
Good job.
So now we have 20 minutes of questions and answers. Who wants to take the first question?
Caleb, what is the name of your business now?
The business title I have right now is Unwritten Mobil Notary Services.
Does it have a special meaning? Or just that?
So, Unwritten was a song that had stuck with me by Natasha Bedingfield. And just a lot of the lyrics in the song I was drawn to because I was doing a lot of things that were where I was just opening up myself.
Do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit more about your business? What it is? I mean, you would think it was notary services, but I don't want to make any assumptions. So if you want to give us a snippet of what you do and.
Yes, I'm a notary. Became a notary in 2013. A lot of what I can do is I can notarize any of your legal documents if you have those. A lot of those when you have transferred property after someone's death. Generally, a lot of those possessions, if they're titled, need to be notarized. A lot of what I do on a day-to-day basis is I present your refinance paperwork. So, you're talking to your lender, they hook you up with a title company, and they will get you in touch with a mobile notary like myself, and we come to your home and we can explain the documents to you as you sign them.
Is it Kayla? Is that right?
Shayla.
Shayla. Okay. Well, thank you. I get a little sense that this is not the space that you're the most comfortable in. So I wanted to congratulate you on your courage. Thank you for doing that. So I'm trying to follow the course of business for you, and you obviously were in a lot of places that weren't creating what your design is, what your purpose is. Do you feel that you're in your purpose now? And if you do, why?
Thank you, Frank, for that question. I am very comfortable with what I'm doing now. I would say in everything else, I was constantly learning it. Not to say that like what I do now, I don't constantly seek more answers to my questions. But this has probably been the most comfortable position that I've been in like my 13, 15 years of work. So it is really, I'm allowed to have my personality, and like I don't have, because I'm not having to answer to somebody else, I can just allow myself to come through in each of my presentations, working one-on-one with, you know, like myself and the homeowners. So I really enjoy that.
How did you get word out or finance starting your notary business?
Because I have some of the experience being a notary already, I had signed up with a lot of what we call signing services, and I made sure that I was constantly like constantly trying to make sure that I was filling out those applications to work with those signing companies so I could be in business. Because if I'm not signing with a company, then I'm not making money. So it's strictly like I don't have an hourly job, and if I'm not working, then I'm not making money.
So you're self-marketing. You're self-marketing,
Yes.
which is what every business owner does.
Excuse me. I just want to piggyback on Frank here. When you got up there and you went, "Oh my God, I'm on stage," and you took that breath and you let it out, and you take another one, you let it out. We all have that struggle. Each and every one of us. I don't care if it's this big guy or not. We all deal with that. You should finally, you just find some of them out today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're here. Keep going.
Good morning. I wanted to know if you were just in the Springs or if you traveled to kind of our surrounding areas.
Most of my business is generated here out of Colorado Springs, but I'm not hesitant. I'd rather go to Pueblo than Denver. I'm sure as people enjoy me and see my love for my business, I would definitely go to Denver, but I've been to Fluorescent, Divide, at Woodland Park. Yeah.
So you're going to all these places, which means you have a lot of commute time.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what are you engaging yourself with during your commutes?
Most recently, I've been starting to listen to more podcasts.
Okay. Which ones?
So I have actually listened to all of Danielle's
Okay.
podcasts, like Coffee's Chicks,
And Cash.
Ash.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of just expanding and listening to some of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
I've listened to some of Andrew Hasley.
Yeah, the Colorado Springs Business Podcast.
Yes, I've listened to a few of his
Mm-hmm.
before.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm gonna circle back, and I wanted to ask you, people normally say, in 5 years, where do you see your business? You know, we're 5 years ago, we didn't see COVID, so those numbers are being chopped down to, what do you see next year, or what do you see in a year and a half? Do you see the progression of who you are, Shayla, continuing in this space, or are you expanding out? And what's the separator for notaries? How do we know a good one from a bad one, or how do we know who to approach to do work?
I'll see if I can't try and break that down a little bit more. So when COVID happened, a lot of people have relied on their banks to do their notarizations. Well, when COVID hit, banks closed and people couldn't have their items notarized. So people were needing to reach out to different means to get their items notarized. So that has helped a lot in getting the word out that mobile notaries are out there. As far as where I see myself, what I would like to do is have something similar to what my refinance presentations look like, and be in touch with anybody that may have any sort of notary presentation. So like attorneys' offices that have notaries in their office, financial offices that have their notaries in their office, just any business that has a notary in their office. If they have any sort of presentation that happens in their office, why don't we take it outside of your office, so that way you can continue to work on like your back end stuff, and I can present because that presentation at the end is just that final piece. So they already are familiar with the information that's been provided, so it's just that finishing piece when you're notarizing everything at the end. So that's what I would like to see, and then I would like to have, I think, a larger business with a team of other notaries where I could keep that going.
You be the lead notary on that team?
Yes, of course.
Just wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah.
And she owns it too. Yes.
And how's that going? The vision of you being the lead notarizer and the systems that you need to develop for having a team.
That is still a work in progress. But a lot of what I would like to have is just having those connections with those financial offices and building up those relationships with those attorneys and health advisors and that whole world and realm of things.
Have you thought that maybe you can bring your first team member on to do that?
I have not.
Seeds.
Daniel.
What has been your biggest success so far?
So while it was something small, I had worked on putting a lot more of my stuff out there. So I built myself a Google website, which has helped my business. And when I had created that Google business page, I started getting a lot more phone calls. Imagine that, people can find me. And I, because of that, have actually had some return customers. So that has been very exciting.
I don't think that's small, that's pretty huge.
Unless somebody else has a question, we can certainly move to our
Super special question. I think we have a newbie that grabbed the paddle today. Who has the paddle that says, there we go? So go ahead and ask our best question ever.
Okay. Sure. Okay. What can we, as a Colorado Springs business community, do to help you?
Most of it is connections. So I want to know everybody that you know. So I don't care if it's your neighbor, your parents, your kids, your attorneys, someone you're passing in the street, or like if you're in the hospital and somebody says, I need a notary. I want people to know and remember that, oh yeah, I know Shayla and I know that she'll go. I know that there's some giggling with the whole hospital thing, but it would be surprising how often you're in a situation where your loved ones are in the hospital and they haven't signed anything. There isn't a limited power of attorney, so you're having to make all these decisions and you need that notary. So don't wait to do that paperwork, try and get it done early. Let me be your notary. But it would be an honor to be your notary. To serve my community.
Well done. I will echo what multiple people already said. Thank you for your courage in coming up here on this stage today. This platform is for anyone in their first 1 to 5 years of business. So not if you're a professional speaker, not if you're super practiced, but you got help when you applied, right, Shayla? You didn't just apply and then we put you on the stage. What was that process? I think we have a little bit of time. What was the process once you applied? Then get some organizers, right?
Right. So my organizer was Danielle, and originally I believe it was Brandon. But when organizers approach you, they will say if you have already been approached by another organizer and you want the organizer to support you, they are more than happy to make sure that you are supported by the organizer that you would like. So I'm very grateful for Danielle and her help in getting me up here. But no, they will have you watch some different videos, and they will really mentor you to make sure that they can at least get you here. So,
And the rest is up to you.
yes, I do.
And you did it.
I did.
And can you feel the love? We're here for you, all of us, this whole community. So here is your beautiful mug for being up here.
I want the orange mug. I saw the white mugs and I was like, I don't want the white mug. I want the orange.
Beautiful. Thank you. One more round of applause. Thank you so much. All right. So let's see. It's about time for community announcements. So if you want to start lining up, if you have something to share with the community, just pop right here, and I'll pass the mic off in just a second. I'm going to use my cheat sheet to make sure I don't miss a thing. If you're a 1 Million Cups organizer, can you raise your hand so we can all see who you are? If you have any questions, these are the people you want to go to. Also, if you're an alumni, go ahead and raise your hand. Our alumni have been 1 Million Cups organizers, usually a year or more, and so they can certainly help you as well. And then we have some caffeinators. So again, we're a community. We're all here for each other. While Flip's walking up, I'll ask him to come up here. He is not only an organizer, but he has been doing our media. So all of our live feeds and things like that. That's not his main profession, but it goes along with what he does for himself as a business owner, because we wear 17 hats, right? So Flip gets 30 seconds to say, what he does, since he is our media sponsor.
Thank you, Samantha. So what is it that I do? The people that know me, what do I do? I don't know.
You're awesome.
I just try to have fun all the time. That's what I do. So let's see. I am the founder of a company called Sweat Nation, which is holistic health coaching. And with that, I work part-time with Garden of the Gods as a wellness concierge. Does that sound fancy or what? I also am the host of Memoirs and Nerd Night, and I'll just do the community announcement if that is okay. Yeah. So Nerd Night is October 20th, which is next week. We have 3 fantastic presenters. One of them is a 16-year-old who's going to tell us about the mythology of Thor and how Marvel has completely messed it up. So we have that. And then our second speaker is a horticulturist, and she's going to tell us about the soil beneath our feet and how important it is. And the last speaker is going to be from the U.S. Olympic Museum, and they're going to tell us about everything that's going on over there. And then Memoirs takes place, Nerd Night is at Kawadi, by the way, and Memoirs is over here in this room next to me over here, and this next one is going to be very strong and powerful. I think 2 out of the 3 speakers are here. So don't ask them their story yet, just come on Memoirs, October 25th, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Thank you very much. Oh, and I teach jiu-jitsu, I do that too.
Yeah, you can clap between each one. That'd be fantastic. So before I get to the next community, you can totally come up here. That's fine. If today's the first time you've ever been to 1 Million Cups, would you raise your hand so we can make sure that we greet you and that you feel welcomed and that you know what this group is? Beautiful. Thank you for being here today. And we want to know who invited you. So we do a quarterly drawing, which just started this month. So in 2.5 months, we'll pull a card, and both the person that invited you and you, if we draw your name, will win a gift or a prize. So keep that in mind. And yeah, let's go right away with community announcements.
20 seconds, by the way.
If every company is the culture of its people, you guys might enjoy a co-housing discussion. And there's one on Meetup. It's Colorado Springs Co-Housing. It's at 6 o'clock tonight.
Right on.
Hi, on Sunday, starting at 7 a.m. To Monday at 7 a.m., I will be attempting to break the Guinness Book of World Record for the most hair braided in 24 hours. It will be here at 3E Comedy Club. It is by donation, and we're still also looking for models. So if your hair is past your shoulders and are longer and you want to braid it, please come and see us. Also, we are, I'm sorry, this is so nerve-wracking. Goodness. I know, right? Also, this, not only will I be breaking a record, but it's the second year of us raising money for a cancer patient with UCH Health, Dr. Picard office. She'll be our recipient, 2021 recipient. Is Jean O'Neill. She'll be here between 3 and 7. So we appreciate your support. Thank you.
It probably will take you too long to braid this, but I'll bring it. Okay, that sounds fun. We should all be there. And I want to remind you that we do have a Facebook page, so please share these things on the Facebook page with specifics, dates, times, tags, all that good stuff.
Alrighty, I want to give a huge shout out to Matt Vieira. I don't see him here today, but he actually did go to the Dudes and Brews for CASA. So guys, there's still an opportunity, and for anybody else that wants to be a CASA and help support what CASA does, whether it's as a court-appointed special advocate, helping with our supervised exchange parenting time, helping in the hangar and helping foster kids, teenagers shop, or if you love to research on the internet and want to do Ancestry.com and that type of things, we can also have volunteers help us find other family members or next of kin for kids in foster care. And those connections are huge, guys. Those connections are so huge. So October 25th, 11 a.m. is the next information volunteer session. So if that's something that's still calling to your heart or you want to know more, please come and talk to me. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Aaron Bellot. I am the program assistant at Exponential Impact, a local startup accelerator. We are hosting a demo day tomorrow at Kawadi, starting at 5. We'd love to see you all there. We'll be hosting 9 different startups where they'll be displaying their ideas and showing it for the community. So thank you. Hope to see you there.
Awesome. And all 9 of those people apply to present here.
Yes, we do lots of collaboration with other organizations. So we are an entrepreneur support group. We work together with all entrepreneur supports throughout the city. So especially people that work for other places that support entrepreneurs, get together with one of the organizers. So I'll actually use this time to do a plug for Madeline. She's out on maternity leave, so we added a new little baby to our 1 Million Cups community. So if she's watching, let's congratulate her. This is Madeline. She's a tiny baby. She takes care of our social media, so we definitely need some help over the next 6 weeks for content. So if you guys, again, please let us know what those things are, and if you can't post it yourself, then let one of the organizers know so that we can get that content on there, okay? And so now it's time for our second presenter. So if she wants to start making her way up here, let's all give a big hand for Kim Randall of Kenna Nursing Services.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I want to ask, how many are parents out there? Moms, dads, any aunts, uncles? Anybody had a child that has impacted their life in any way? So I want you to think back to the day either you found out you were pregnant, or maybe your significant other was pregnant, or your friend was, your best friend was pregnant. And just think back to that time when you first found out, the excitement, the fear, the anticipation. So that was me. I was 21 years old, first time mom. Found out I was pregnant with a little one, scared, excited, can't wait. All the dreams and hopes of just having a new child. And then suddenly, your life is flipped upside down. About 15 weeks into that pregnancy, I found out that my child was going to have severe special needs. Probably never walk, never talk, never eat on her own. All those dreams that you have for a new child, daddy's walking their little girl down the aisle, daddy-daughter dates, throwing the football with your son, gone. So the next several years were a whirlwind. Getting to learn all the different medical equipment, all the different words, but it's hollow prosencephaly, G-tubes, trachs, vents, wheelchairs, and just all that comes with being a parent of a special needs child. And so I decided at that time that I was going to become a nurse. And when I graduated high school, that was not in the cards. Initially it was to be a teacher, and I walked in first speech class and was like, I'm not doing this. And now where you are now, right? And then it was I wanted to be an artist for Disney, and then I joined the military. So all over the place. So I was in the military, decided I was going to become a nurse, moved to Colorado in 2004. New place, no family, no friends, and now I had 3 kids. I was in the hospital on bed rest with complications with my 3rd child. Just learning that my 2nd child probably had special needs as well, and my daughter. And shortly after my son was born, found myself in the hospital with my daughter with multiple complications, brand new here, didn't know of any services whatsoever, still having food shipped from Washington State because nobody could figure out how to get the food here for her that she needed to live. And some resources in town that we were aware of at the time, but not too many. And a nurse walked in and handed me this book about this thick and said, here's the community resources. And basically just kind of threw it at me and told me it was basically on my own to figure it out. It's active duty military. My husband at the time was active duty. He was deployed. And we had 3 kids. All young. My daughter was 5 at the time, so 5 and under, 3 kids. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? And just that stress of not knowing who to turn to, not having somebody there to help you walk you through that, to be able to navigate the system, I decided at that time, I'm going to fix it. So decided to pursue, went through nursing school, took me 8 years, I was active duty military, 8 years to get through school, got through school, actually ended up winning an award towards the end of school for my idea of the startup of starting a company that would be all-encompassing, be a one-stop shop for kids with special needs and their families. Initially, it was going to be a brick-and-mortar company and go and try to change the minds of corporate business owners and the community on how healthcare should be delivered, and understanding, that we don't need big insurance and the government to take care of us. We can take care of our own. And figured that was going to be a lifetime affair. Just learning how to change people's ideas. And over the years, life happened, and so that really never got off the ground. But it's always been that nagging thought in the back of my head of like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And so, so in 2010, my daughter actually passed away. And I learned very quickly the services that were actually available in this community because I had time to look. And so I began Kenna Nursing Services.
So tell us the structure of Kenna Nursing Services and why it's so different than what's out there.
Okay. So, like I said, initially my idea was to start a brick and mortar and talk to different business owners, and I was actually going to provide them with primary care services for their employees, and utilize those funds to offer free care to special needs kids. And so that was the original idea. I was actually planning to go to school and become a doctor when I broke my back, and so I had to kind of pivot. And so now, currently, Kenna Nursing Services provides case management services, skilled nursing, and respite care for kids who don't have insurance. So the kids that are waiting for their Medicaid waivers to go through or just aren't getting the services they need. However, like Danielle said, as far as like the structure, eventually, if anybody's heard of Rocky Mountain PACE Senior, we want to design something similar for special needs children, but completely privately funded. So no Medicaid, no insurance involved, and it's all home-based services. So we come to you. Yes, Rick.
I want you to circle back to this book.
Yes.
Because I had the incredible privilege of becoming somewhat a friend to your daughter that died before she passed away. Give us her name and the impact she had on your heart, because I know her being born and being a part of your life was really what infused the possibility of this business being here. So tell us a little bit about her.
Absolutely. So my daughter's name was McKenna Ray. Kenna, Nursing Services, obviously, named after her. And as I say, I never wanted a daughter. I am a tomboy. Oh my goodness, I always think God had a huge sense of humor bringing me that little girl. And she taught not just myself, but my whole family how to love and to accept everyone unconditionally. And just, it is amazing the personalities that, even if they can't talk, that they have is incredible. And so, yeah, she's what drove me to nursing, but Kenna Nursing is, I mean, it's currently set up as an LLC, but it's not meant to be for profit. It is a work that I'm taking on. My great-grandparents were big philanthropists, and so this is a way to honor them and carry on Kenna's name. So, you're welcome.
How long have you been in business?
Okay.
And yeah, we'll start there.
Okay. So my business is technically started on January 4th, 2021.
Okay.
So technically.
Right, and then what's the non-technical then?
So I started it. It's legally set up, but I'm growing it extremely slow on purpose because I have a 9 to 5. And I know that once the word's really out there, as it is now, it's going to explode. There's some regulatory issues in the state of Colorado with home health care agencies, and so I'm trying not to become an agency at this point. So I'm trying to only have services that I personally can offer myself in my spare time, and then working to create those networking and referral type partners at this time, where I can basically refer people to. But eventually I want to create a foundation where it comes under one umbrella. So that's why.
Cool. Love it.
Let's circle back for a second. As a special needs parent myself and as a retired special education teacher, walk us through what it's like to have a special needs child and trying to balance and learning what that process looks like, right? It's like you said, you were handed that book. I was handed pretty much the same book and said, tag, you're it, go, meet me, there goes the bus, right? So walk us through that and why that's important to what Kenna does.
Right. So I think for me personally and my daughter, a lot of things fell through the wayside. Like, you just don't have time. There's no way. Active duty, I was in nursing school, 3 kids, 2 of which had disabilities, and really all 3 of them because the little one was a preemie. And I didn't have help. So really everything just kind of fell through the wayside. It was mostly by chance. How I met Frank was through a lady named Kesty Suggs, and she just came up to me at church. And she didn't really come to me, she came up to McKenna. And came running. And so, you know, to come to find out about her respite program and what she offers. So that was kind of by chance, to be honest. My daughter's food, like the case manager we had at the base didn't know what they were doing. And eventually, after a year, I figured it out. But, you know, it took a year. So it's just really, really slow. So the value of Kenna Nursing is, one thing I did find, you know, anybody that did try to help, they weren't clinical. They didn't understand, you know, the disabilities and what it took to find the services that they need. And so one of the big things with Kenna Nursing is you get a nurse and a parent. Like, I've been there. I know you tell me a certain disability, I at least have a general idea of what that child is, and then understanding that every child's unique and every family is unique, and so everybody needs different things. And so coming alongside and partnering with you and knowing the community, getting those connections and knowing what's available, and then being able to come alongside you and sit with you and determine what is it that you need for your child and what's available in this community, and then helping you make those connections.
Does that book that you talked about sort of still exist? And do you help people sift through that or add to that? Because I'm sure there's resources that aren't in there that you later found.
Right. I don't know.
Sure,
I'm sure it probably is still out there in some form or fashion. So. Yeah. Google, right?
Is it just you at this point, or do you have other nurses that work with you, your families?
So it's currently just me. I mean, I know some people by name that, I can call and be like, hey, and I'm trying to grow that base of people at this point. It's, who's willing to offer services to these families. Because I guess the understanding with me is you're not going to charge full price. And so, hopefully, eventually we'll have that foundation set up and you'll be properly compensated. But until that happens, I'm not asking you to give away your services, but I am asking you to keep in mind that these are families that are uninsured. Thank you. Sir.
Can you tell us about your services?
Sure.
What do you offer?
Yeah, so currently I offer case management, and if you don't know what that is, it's more like a care coordination, helping. So like I'm working with one family right now that's moving here. And so helping make sure that they understand all the different things that need to be set up, their medications, so they have, a 90-day supply when they move here. So their kid doesn't run out of that needed seizure medication, making sure that they have the durable medical equipment and all that stuff. And then I can work on this side to help connect you with the different durable medical equipment companies here, with pediatrician here. And I'm looking, to make connections with different therapists in the community so that your child doesn't have to go without physical therapy or speech therapy or OT or ABA until you get your waiver set up. I can get you connected with the different agencies in town that do the waivers. And I make the initial phone calls. So that's kind of case management. Skilled nursing is, maybe you, for whatever reason, you don't change your child's G2. Maybe that's just too traumatic for you to do. I can come in and do that for you. And so I'll come to your house and I'll take care of that G2. If maybe there's a new medication that you need education about, or maybe, your child needs to be suctioned and you've always had a nurse do that. And so I can come in and do those services. And then I do respite as well. So that's it's kind of a high level babysitting in a way, but, come in and offer you 4 hours so you can just get out and have a date night because your child's on a trach vent and not just anybody will do that for you. And so those are kind of services I currently offer. Eventually we'll be moving, OT, PT, speech, ABA, house cleaning. Stuff makes a mess. So those G2s disconnect and it's gross. People need their houses remodeled for ramps and stuff, so construction workers, just creating an entire network. The mental health of the parents and the different siblings and just all sorts of, there's so much vast. So being able to create that all-encompassing community for these families.
So you've mentioned it in passing, I think, twice. So I would like to know what the journey was like on this nutritional protocols that you were putting on. Where did you start? What did you learn? Where did you end up?
As far as
the food that you said that she
needed
my
to
daughter's
eat.
Yes, the nutritional protocols.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So my daughter was 100% G2 fed. So tube in her stomach, she pretty much drank Pediasure through a tube. And so the company in Washington was very generous, and they actually shipped it out free. So TRICARE was our insurance at the time, and so they covered it. We're still in the West region, so they would cover the cost of the food, but not the shipping. So the company shipped it out here for a year. Eventually, I got fed up with the case manager that didn't know what they were doing, and I found a company in town that would do it, and we got it switched over, and then finally they sent it. So that's kind of how that worked. Any other questions?
Yeah, so you mentioned when you first found out you're pregnant, all the things that go through your head, and you're not anticipating that kind of lifestyle, and then having to find the resources on your own. I think for most of us, nobody really anticipates that if we haven't been in that situation or lived it. Having gone through the things you've gone through and found those resources, is there anything that you feel people should know about in town, services that would be, that's where you start in the situation, these are the first one or two people you call?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so there's an amazing company in town called the Rise Above that's absolutely incredible at getting you set up, and I work pretty closely with the owner there, and she helps get your waivers. The resource exchange, however, you've got to know how to navigate the resource exchange. So those are the gatekeepers, to be honest, in the community for those waivers, and then just having a really good pediatrician and understanding the ins and outs of how to get around we don't accept Medicaid.
or we're not taking new patients at this time. Because there's some tricks that I've learned as a parent. And then I also have those professional connections with those doctors, having to work with them.
So you've talked about, you yourself. Have you thought about having other peer mentors parents come in to work alongside these parents? Because I loved that when I was a parent and I became one of those parent mentors and still am. Have you thought about adding that piece to it? Because sometimes it's knowing the language, asking the questions, knowing how to circumnavigate or those little tips and tricks that you learn as a parent. Have you thought about adding that into your business plan?
Yes, it's also one of my biggest competitions. There's lots of that, at least on Facebook. So there's lots of special needs peer support groups. That's actually where I do a lot of my marketing. And that's kind of in a way, it's some of your biggest competition because a lot of the information's free.
Right. Have you reached out to Peak Parent Center here in town or Parents Colorado?
I've talked to them, but I haven't pursued it yet.
Would you like some context?
Absolutely. Yes, Frank.
Yeah, I would challenge you to stop thinking about other people's space as competition.
Correct.
So I think that's really a touch point in our mindset shift, is that because if this is your passion, my friend, then your passion makes room for you.
Correct.
It really will, if it's really your passion. With that in mind, you're working a 9 to 5 right now. And you're kind of doing this. I'm not going to call it a hobby because I know you. And I know it's not a hobby. But it doesn't get the appropriate time that it needs to get movement, to gain space and traction in business. Is there a time frame where that's going to happen?
Absolutely, Frank. I think you know the time frame.
And that time frame is?
So at the end of December, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a 9 to 5 job anymore.
Yay!
We'll see what happens.
No, you're not going to.
It might be a part-time.
Okay,
We'll see what happens. So between now and then, it's more of getting the legal structure stuff set up for the foundation piece. To have that rolling by the end of the beginning of the year, so that as I'm making these connections, there's a place to put these people instead of just having referral contacts and shake your hand, thanks so much, but actually having a legal structure for it. So yes, by the end of the year, Frank.
Right on.
I want to piggyback on what Frank said. There's not competition because the PACE program, when that initially came out, a lot of people poo-pooed it, right, for senior health care and that type of thing, right? But yet then it's now revolutionized how we're caring in home HCBS and home care-based services for seniors. And that's what I love about this for parents, because you're taking that same model and revolutionizing that for kids. And I know the struggles with Medicaid and all of that, but that switched for PACE, I can see you doing that. So it's not competition. Your passion's going to show through in the fact that you're taking something that's an already proven model and moving it into a space that truly needs it, especially with parents that when you're handed that child and that ideal all of a sudden is shifted because your perfect child is now medically not perfect anymore, that's a huge piece there. So you're going to revolutionize this, and that's why this is so powerful. So stop thinking it's competition.
Okay.
December's the time frame.
Right.
And take bold action.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. Let's roll. It's time.
We have time for one more question, unless you got it all out. And go ahead.
I'm wondering if you'll have availability to train other people, even nurses who are not familiar with this field, to be able to shadow you and not expecting any payment, but volunteer free time to learn, to be able to assist you in and your clients.
Yeah, I can teach anybody with the right mindset. They're
Yes,
willing
we
to,
can.
if they're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. Absolutely.
So who has the second paddle? I've been looking around. Is it here too? Okay, go ahead.
All right. What can we, as a Colorado Springs business community, do to help you?
So just like Shayla, connections, connections, connections. The biggest need I think I have right now is a connection for a lawyer that understands how to set up foundations.
I don't. I
Yes.
have one.
I think that's the biggest thing right now, to be able to figure out how to legally go about structuring the way I want to structure something to get that going. And then just, get to know everybody. And it's not just medical that I need. So, like I said, construction workers, house cleaners, carpet cleaners, all that. So.
Can't forget Matt. Thank you for being here. Well done. And she's here all the time. These ladies are here. So if you can't connect with them today, then do it the next time or the next time on our app or on the website. Their information is there. Just click and connect with them. Their phone numbers, their emails, all that is there. So one more hand. Thank you so much. If you are not receiving a weekly email, it's because you haven't set up your free 1 Million Cups account yet. So just go to 1millioncups.com, find the community, which is Colorado Springs, and then put in your info, and then people can find you as well. I think we have close to 700 or more community members. So obviously there's usually about 40 or more people here, but there's 700 all over the city. So that's one way you can connect with them digitally really, really quickly. Jenny has a couple roles here this morning, so I'm going to ask her to come up as I talk about, I think everybody knows where we are. We're at 3D's Comedy Club. Eric Phillips is the owner. He's not here today, but let's give him a round of applause for his generosity and generosity. And then I'm going to take his 30 seconds for a shout out for his staff. So I think it's Danica is here today, so she's back at the bar. If you want to wave, Danica, everyone can kind of get to know her. Tara's usually here, D'Angelo, Jesse, so make sure you know who they are and always give them a thank you because they do a lot for us to make sure that we're set up and that we're ready to go each week. So Jenny has a couple roles as an organizer, so come up, Jenny. Today she's going to give out the weekly breakfast. So Matt Vieira of Colorado Junk Removal, he has every week he gives out free breakfast. There was no breakfast today, but usually the cook or the chef is here and you can order breakfast. So we give one of those free out per week. You need to use it within 4 weeks is the general piece. So she's going to give that out in a second. And she's our coffee sponsor organizer. So she's going to tell you what that means because 2022 is coming up and we need to fill some spots. So take it away, Jen.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So we're looking for additional coffee sponsors for 2022. It's right around the corner. So if you'd like to become the coffee sponsor for a month, that's a $125 financial commitment. You do get an opportunity to come up and tell a little bit about your organization as well. And regarding the breakfast, so I guess maybe you get to pick. Okay. So again, Matthew Vieira is putting that on, and he's been gracious to sponsor that. So I would like to actually, Patrick, I loved what you said, and congratulations, you are the winner of that breakfast.
I love breakfast.
Okay, and try to use it within 4 weeks. I know there are some times where they might not be available as far as breakfast goes, but within 4 weeks you can use that.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah,
Thank you, Patrick.
Congrats. So I love that 1 Million Cups. We start at 9 and we end at 10. So look at that. It's 9:59. My final reminder, again, I love being a Colorado resident, whether you're new or old. This is the best time to get out and enjoy the weather. Wear your layers, go enjoy the changing of the trees, Cripple Creek, down south, a little bit in town, but enjoy the crisp Colorado air that we have, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, ladies.
Wow. Flip was like on time with the music. Like, this things are done. Feel it? Okay. My coffee was too hot. My tongue's like a cat tongue.
Whoever's watching can